McJunkin here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I received a kidney on June the 21st, 2011.
My name is Mike Samuels, and I gave a kidney.
Late 2007, my nephrologist identified that I would need a transplant. I would need to be getting ready for transplant, hopefully to get a transplant before I would have to go on dialysis, but that didn't happen. You know, and I just kind of hunkered down to say, okay, this is what you have to do. It was difficult. The process was 6 to 7 hours a day, a session, 6 to 7 sessions a week. Being the youngest of 6 siblings, I was pretty sure that, okay, there will be a match within the family. This won't be a long, strenuous process. I've got a lot of first cousins. There were 16 to 17 people who presented themselves as potential donors, but none of them were compatible. Even my siblings were not compatible. When Michael came and kind of pulled me aside, it was once again one of those, wow, what an honor. But then as he began to share this story, that it wasn't so much just out of his heart that he wanted to do this, but that it was out of a sense of call. Then it was just like, you know, and I was in the, having had so many who I expected would be compatible, to either not be compatible, or like a couple of my brothers, they were compatible, but they had their own health conditions that made them a bad candidate. I guess I didn't have my expectations too high that he would be compatible or that it would work out. But then when it did, and that's when the feeling of, wait a minute, this is real, this really could happen. You know, that felt like a pipe dream way out there somewhere, but wait a minute, he really is compatible, and he's the only one that I ever heard come to me and say, God called me to do this. That I just didn't feel like, oh yeah, Rev, I mean, because there was not enough a connection between us to say, oh yeah, I like this guy so much that I'm gonna risk my life for him. That I'm willing to say, okay, I got these 4 kids, I got this beautiful wife, I got other folks, you know, whatever, that are depending upon me, and yet I'm willing to go and risk all of that, because that really was what you did. I mean, risking all of that in order to help out this person that I don't have that much of a connection with, and that blows my mind.
But they made sure that everything was taken care of, as far as physically, even emotionally, asking me, is this something that you're willing to do? Did someone ask you to do this? They made sure that everything was taken care of on every angle.
And Michael said one of the most profound things. Basically, it was like, well, this is your kidney. God told me to give it to you, and so when you're ready, you know, it's right here. I have 36 hours more per week than I did not have before. It's now free. And so when I was on, when I knew that we were working towards dialysis, I told myself, so make yourself a promise that you never act like you don't have enough time for something. If you were able to work full time and to do this dialysis for this amount of time, then don't tell me you can't go back to school. Don't tell me you can't do anything, you know, get your doctorate. You can do all of that. A lot more time to just play, you know, and the freedom to say, oh, don't grab my fistula. Oh, watch out for this. Oh, don't watch out for that. Watch out for the other. You know, there's just been more freedom to just to be more relaxed, to actually have hobbies, and to be engaged in hobbies and things like that. Because of the blessing of both dialysis and then eventually the gift of a kidney, I've been with my daughter through her going through being a class valedictorian from her graduating elementary school class, to seeing her perform on stage the first time with her flute or piano. You know, there's been so many things that I would have missed had Michael not stepped forward. You're going to save someone's life, and it's not going to only be their lives. It's going to be the people who surround them. It's going to be their family who are going to be affected. It really is a gift, not just of livelihood, it's a gift of life.